if it's after WrestleMania. To me, WrestleMania for Undertaker is saved for legendary matches at this point of his career. At this point of his career, he doesn't have many years left, and they need to be saved for all of the great matches that he can have with superstars that we would love to see him face. Wade Barrett and The Undertaker is not the match to be profiled at WrestleMania, in my opinion. You don't get a rub of facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania. You should get a rub facing The Undertaker in non-big-time WWE pay-per-views. Except for maybe a SummerSlam, which would make a whole hell of a lot of sense. But I think that the Wade Barrett Undertaker storyline should be postponed until after WrestleMania. But nevertheless, what the WWE is planning at this moment is to have a career versus streak match again, only this time it will be Triple H who will be taking the place of a Shawn Michaels. And this is basically for Triple H to avenge his best friend Shawn Michaels' loss, at WrestleMania 26, which retired, Shawn Michaels. I don't mind the WWE doing that. It's a big marquee. We've seen these guys before in their tremendous match at WrestleMania X17 in Houston, Texas, the Astrodome in 2001. They put out one of the best matches I've ever seen both of those guys put out, whether individually or together in a match. But you're talking about a match that will be 11 years later in WrestleMania 27. 10 years later at WrestleMania 27. I don't think that may be the best of ideas to actually do. Simply because you have this Sheamus and Triple H storyline that's still dangling around. And we don't have another pay-per-view left in between WrestleMania and between right now and WrestleMania. I think the best thing to do for Triple H is to have that career match for Triple H be against Sheamus. I would really like that. I think Sheamus deserves that after a lot that he has been through, losing the WWE Championship in just a weird fashion, to being de-pushed, to winning the King of the Ring, and then all of a sudden over the last several weeks, he's really been a mid-card kind of a guy without much of a focus. I think the best thing for the WWE to do with Sheamus is to pair him up with Triple H in that feud once and for all, bring some clarity and some finality to that match, to that storyline, and build a huge grudge match, career versus the King versus King, and Triple H's career is on the line. I think that works better right there in that standpoint, and I think it works even more for the WWE if somehow Sting can get off his high horse, or the WWE can get off theirs and come together, because the time is right, the moment is right for it to happen. All of the stars are aligning for Sting to get into the WWE, and I strongly believe if he doesn't capitalize on that moment right now, it's going to be a huge mistake, because there's so much you can do with Sting on the WWE. It's more than just this match with The Undertaker. It's more than possibly getting into the Hall of Fame. It's about Sting ending his career on a high note, financially speaking and figuratively speaking. The guy can do so much for the WWE in terms of publicity-wise. The guy still has a phenomenal following worldwide. They love him in Germany. They love him in Europe. He's a worldwide star even today. And he also he could be a true ambassador towards WWE Classics on Demand. An awesome on-demand service that I think that everybody who's a wrestling fan, of an old school wrestling fan especially, who would gravitate towards immediately. A DVD project with Sting. The WWE has all of his footage. They probably don't have his Blade Runner footage with the Ultimate Warrior, but there's so much that you could even talk to on that chapter alone. Sting could have a huge 3 or 4 disc set with the WWE, and I guarantee you, I'm one of those people that will buy it in a heartbeat. I mean a heartbeat. He also could do a whole heck of a lot of stuff promo-wise with the WWE for Raws or SmackDowns. You can still put up a couple of more good angles for him after The Undertaker. If you ask me, he's the kind of guy who obviously would not be on a huge WWE schedule. It will definitely be a reduced schedule for him, which he does deserve since he's been in the business for so long. But bottom line is, I'm not looking for a great match with The Undertaker and Sting. It's for nostalgia purposes. Just for those two guys to be in the same ring simultaneously at a WrestleMania, in front of so many thousand fans at the Georgia Dome, and I will be attending that live as well as the Hall of Fame this year, is going to be very, very special for anybody, and especially since it's in the ATL in Atlanta, Georgia, where Sting made his name in this business with the World Championship Wrestling / National Wrestling Alliance. So all of the stars are aligned for Sting to go to the WWE. Plans can change. WrestleMania is still roughly less than 2 months away. It doesn't take much for the WWE to build this up. And I really hope that Sting and the WWE will come to terms and finally end the speculation. There's only been really one guy who hasn't gone to the WWE. And there's two things that's really left for the WWE, in my opinion, that people would really want to see. One is, of course, Sting going there, and the second is for Randy Savage to return. And for the better part, the time is more right for Sting than Randy Savage to go back to the WWE. And if he doesn't do it now, I don't think that in the future there's going to be a better chance for him to actually get that last payday and that last recognition of this guy as being one of the top performers to ever lace the boots in professional wrestling. And I just hope that WrestleMania 27 we will have Sting and The Undertaker, as so many fans will really love, just for nostalgia purposes. But, you know, that's pretty much it for this impromptu episode of Spec Commentaries. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed it. Very, very opinionated here about my feelings towards Sting and The Undertaker, as you are as well. And I hope you continue to listen to InYourHeadOnline.com. And that's pretty much it. I'm Spec Son, and I'll see y'all next time.